Ooh. You know something, brother? Episode 97 of the Too Thick Pod, your home for all things sports, cards, and levity. I am your host, Jeremy. You can follow me at Reckless Cards. I'm joined by none other than Instagram Manny.
What's up, everyone? And welcome to your hobby release. And like Jeremy said, you can follow me at Manny_Forez. That's probably going to change here shortly until when Jeremy tells me to. But I'm excited. Weekly excitement because we get to talk sports cards with one another. Not only this week's been perfect, we got to hang out a lot this weekend. Are you annoyed by me yet?
Not at all. And I like how you said the week's been perfect because the week has been absolutely chaotic for both of us. Sick kids, work like crazy, 21 hours together to do a show. It's been anything but perfect, but I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world, my friend.
I agree. I've been working. We've been working like you pretty much. And I can't handle it. So I realize I do give you like a ton of props because there's no. I did it for 2 days and I'm already done. I was so done and cooked. I wanted to stop already. So.
Yeah, no, there's a lot, and all that's done is, we were going to do a whole episode just recapping the show, the vibe, what's going in the hobby when you're down there in the trenches, wheeling and dealing. And then since then, we've had Herbert 1 of 1 pulled. We've got Lemons the cat on life support or dead or maybe back from the dead, depending on which way you look at it. We've got, Mark Rubin talking about redemptions. We've got thickest of the week, man. We've got Leaf and PSA battling. It's just shit going on everywhere. So I don't even know where to begin. I guess, let's do a quick show recap.
All right. So yeah, this weekend we went to Luddick's card show in Chicago, and it was fun because I got the pleasure of hanging out with the Reckless family from 4 a.m. pretty much to 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah, it was like that. We left the crib about 2:30, 3 o'clock. We picked you up about an hour and a half due west of where we live. Yep. We scooped you up. You napped for a little bit. Then we stopped to grab coffee. But yeah, we did the Skyline show, sponsored by Luddick's. Great show, 100 tables, a lot of, athletes there signing autographs. I think like Joe Creedy, Willie Galt, and some other big name players. Andrew Vaughn were there. And it was busy as all get out, and the vibe was cool, man. Saw a lot of dope cards.
Oh yeah, there's a ton. Like the thing I like about that show a lot is there was a lot of like higher end cards that you don't normally see at card shows. But then there was also like the 100 and less cards, like $10 cards and 50. It was a good mixture. And shout out to Brock. That dude was running around like crazy trying to overprice his soccer cards onto you. So.
I know, dirtbag. Absolute dirtbag. Then my man owes me $50 because then I gave him a tutorial on how to find it, because if it wasn't for Card Ladder, 130 Point, eBay, looking into the stars, operating from feel within the gut, we would have never gotten there, and I potentially could have been taken advantage of. And in all fairness to him, these were Pop 1 cards with low print run. So, but we were able to look at some cool cards, and I was able to avoid, overspending on some cards that might not move as quickly as I'd like.
Yeah. Well, I was grateful because you actually let me set up at your booth. You gave me a little spot in your showcase, and there's put your cards out in whatever room is left.
This is bullshit. You're misrepresenting. We were like, dude, take as much space as you want. Okay, and the way you're telling the story, you're like, oh, we fucking tucked you in the corner.
No.
Bullshit. I said, hey, man, put your shit in there. Where Courtney had to do your job for you and say, hey, quit being a little biatch and let's get your cards there, man. I put Mbappe dead center, didn't I? I moved my Mbappe refractor over. I put yours there. Boom. Josh Allen rookie card with the patch. Boom. Dead center. Hey, dude, put this here. Put this here.
You did. No, you did. I felt bad because it's your table. It's not my table. I didn't expect you guys to do that, but it turned out
So
really
you
well.
feel bad, so you get on the damn pod, and the first thing you do is you represent like we're being jagoffs
No,
or
I didn't
or
feel
we're
like
being stingy with the space. We had 3 showcases, man, and I said, "What's mine is yours. If you wanna take
that.
80%, Manny, your happiness is all I care about." You fucking come on here and say, "I only gave you a little bit." That's bullshit.
I didn't mean it like that. Well,
But
I
that's
got
what
a
you
lot of
said,
sales.
and you're a grown ass man. You're responsible for your own words.
Yeah.
Anyway, I digress. I will allow you to continue.
Well, I did really well on the show. A lot of cards actually were. I sold a lot of cards, and the thing is I priced them really well. Compared to like other tables. When I go to card shows, they're priced like 120%, 110%. I priced them between 90% and like 95. I was below market. And then when people offered me, I was willing to deal with them. And it seemed like it worked. I mean, I sold a ton of cards. And I mean, you guys were selling cards too, like crazy. We were like the like the one table that was, it seemed like we are doing transactions left and right.
You know it's a good sign when people are like waiting to get and deal with you, and then I think word got out. I didn't get to walk the show too much, but it sounded like not a lot of people were buying, but I
No.
was looking at anything that walked up to the table. I was looking to buy.
Oh yeah, and I mean, had some good deals buying. I didn't. I had a kid trying to take me to the deep end of the water with my Josh Allen card. And you know how I am. Courtney even whispered in my ear, "Do not take the deal if you don't want to," like just to reinsure that okay, it's a kid, but he's gonna take advantage of you. It was fun and it was cool because there was a Target right next door, and you guys made fun of me about this. I left the card show because of the panini stickers that came out to go buy some panini stickers at Target.
No, that was cool. That was cool. I think my big takeaway from that show is cards from like that 50 to $500 range are really what's moving, and obviously 50 and below, that stuff moves like crazy. We tried a new approach, and
Mm-hmm.
maybe this will be helpful for others, but when we go to shows, we price everything. It's priced to sell. We're not 2x comps, we're not 3x comps. Now, when you're bringing thousands of cards, sure, there might be one that's goofy, like
Mm-hmm.
gold stuff or stuff that isn't readily available, that might have a little bit of a premium on it, but it's within, it's justified. Like there's talking points where if we were to have a conversation, I can justify being at that price. But in the past, we'd always brought like a 2 row or 3 row where we'd put cards, $5 to $50. And these are cards like if it's a $10 card on eBay, it's $5 in here.
Mm-hmm.
Because the table space, we didn't have that. So we put those cards in the showcase, and those things were just flying.
Oh
Those
yeah.
things were just flying. And talking to some other more experienced vendors, they said putting those cards in the showcase are great just because the visibility, and when there's heavy foot traffic, people don't necessarily feel comfortable to stop and thumb through boxes. And so as we prepare for the couple shows we're coming up this weekend, that's all I've been doing all week is like $50 through $500 cards that aren't slabbed. They're prepared, they're team bagged, and they're going to go in a showcase.
That's awesome. Yeah, you're fit like less than $100 cards. I seen you guys moving them and moving them and moving them, which is great. You also like you did bring that 20. Is it a 20 cent? You had a 20 cent box.
Yeah, we put it just what essentially there was cards that are 3, 4, 5, $6 in there. We just went 5 for $1.
Yeah, and those were like I feel like you made a ton of money, like not money but sales through that box alone. I saw a couple guys were there for a couple hours going through all the cards, and then I had a stack of like 200 cards. It was insane.
Yeah, I can't tell you how many shows recently where I've just put up like, hey, they're 4 for $1, 5 for $1, and we don't pick through them. So there's refractors, there's silvers, there's some numbered stuff, there's some of like relic cards. It's not just base crap.
Yep.
And there's been several times where people have had the opportunity to, you could buy the whole box for, let's say, one day I was like, the cards were really starting to pile up at the house, and I've got a massive card shop in the house,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm like, we need to move some stuff. So I was like, killer deal. So I'm like, you can take the whole box for $75. I ended up doing like $200 in individual sales, summed up, and left with like a majority of the cards. So that's
Yeah,
happening quite a bit. But hey, man, if people want to pick through and go for it, why not? I'm not mad at money.
but I know there's some shows that know you, and you have to tell dealers that they can't buy the box because they know the steals that you have in the box at for example, a card show we're going to this weekend. Like you have to like say, no, this is for the actual people that are for the show because they know the deals.
Yeah, we didn't do the hype video this week, and the show he's referring to is this Monday on Labor Day. We'll be doing the Bees show in Shipshewana. It's I think 180 tables.
Yep.
We'll do trade night the night before, but what was happening is we were making like, little promo videos or hype videos for the people who are attending, like, hey, come by. You're incentivized to look through these boxes. You might find a $20, $30 card if you're willing to look through. And what was happening is other vendors were just coming and picking through before the show even started. So what we've had to do is kind of like, hey man, I'd love to sell to you and I get it. And I'm not trying to stop you, but there's people who are taking time out of their day. They're spending gas money, they're readjusting their plans to potentially come look at these cards.
Yep.
And if they're not there, ultimately we're just pulling like a bait and switch, or, it's kind of just seems kind of shitty not to have those cards and a fair chance for those people.
One thing I learned about the Reckless family, they're very professional. And I'm going to take this to every card show, even if you guys aren't there. One thing Jeremy told me, and it made sense, is if when you're a dealer, make sure you're standing and approachable. I feel like you got a lot of sales just because you're everybody that walks by you, you're acknowledging them. You get that a lot with card shows when you're walking and people are on their phone sitting down, not even looking at you. And if you say, hey, they'll just go, hey, and then get right back on their phone. You're very approachable. And I've learned that from you, and I'm going to take it with me in the future card shows.
No, I appreciate you recognizing that. I remember the first day where we had all of us together, and at one point, everybody sat down, and I was like, "The hell do you think you're doing? What the hell do you think you're doing?
Yeah.
Like, we're here to work. It's only like, how long's the show? 7, 8, 9 hours max. Let's suck it up. Or if you're gonna go sit, go somewhere else. It just, to me, it looks unprofessional. You're there. People are coming for an experience. They're coming to buy cards. You don't walk into a jewelry store or an automotive store or somewhere where you're buying something and the people act like they don't want to be there or aren't friendly. And if we take it a step further, there's definitely some special people in this industry. There's a lot of introverted people. There's a lot of people that maybe have social anxiety. There's people who aren't comfortable conversating. And a quick way, myself included, if I walk up to a table and somebody acts like they hate their life or doesn't want to communicate, that's probably not somebody that I'm going to do a deal with. So you're
Mm.
potentially killing a deal before it ever even starts. And you never know who's walking around with what. There's people where you've made a snap judgment and they turn around and spend $1,000, $5,000, and all it was because we're warm and friendly. And talking to people, you learn, you feel what's going on, you hear what's going on, you have a better understanding of the landscape. And so to me, it's a no-brainer. Other people might view it differently. It's just the way I choose to operate.
I agree. And I'm excited. Like I said, like we said, we're going to the Shipshewana show this weekend. You're going to Cleveland on Saturday. What was the show called?
Yeah, it's the Greenies show, and big ups to him because he did like a radio spot, and Reckless Cards got the shout out in the radio spot. So Courtney's doing the scavenger hunt for that. Big ups to Nash Cards. They're doing like these golden tickets where, in addition to getting free packs and slabs, kids can win free grading through Nash Cards. And then they're also doing that same scavenger hunt, slightly different for the Shipshewana show. We're going to be doing a live break for the kids. Big ups to Ludex for providing the wax. So many vendors donated sealed wax, blasters, slabs, singles to go in these packs. And then TNT Cards, which is a group subber out of Michigan, out of Portage, did the same thing with the golden tickets. They were actually the first to do it, and it was such a great idea. So somebody's going to get, some free grading, which is dope.
Mm-hmm. And if you do, like, if you're on the fence going to Shipshewana, the dealers there are really good, and they're very approachable, and they price their cards really well. So there's going to be a lot of transactions. Yes, we said it wasn't a lot of buying at the Skyline show. We bought, or we were selling a lot. So on our end, we didn't see that. Shipshewana, everyone seems to be buying at that show.
I'm actually going to have a little station set up just for buying.
Yep.
And so I'm looking forward to it. I will say that I saw a couple of awesome cards at let's just talk about what were the coolest cards you saw at the Skyline show.
So my favorite card that I want, but I'm never gonna probably get. Well, I could get to that point with your, with my sensei's lessons right to me. That
They start calling you Manny Miyagi
yeah, Manny Miyagi, wax on,
or
wax
Manny Danielson.
off. That Ronaldo. Did you see that the Eminence Ronaldo? That was nasty. It was an auto. I think was it 1 of 1?
I don't know. Was that it had like that was at the same table that had the George Russell Dynasty
Yeah.
out of 10.
Yep.
That was like the most badass. This guy came and just put his dick on the table. He had one showcase. He had like 8 cards in it, and his 8 cards were better than like
Everyone.
95% of the stuff in the room. It was a sick card.
Yeah, and then another cards I was kind of looking for because you kind of gave me this advice. When you go to Chicago, look for Detroit cards to bring back to Michigan. And I saw a lot of Miguel Cabrera autos because they're kind of cheap right now.
Yep.
And I was going to package a deal, but I never had time to do it. It was Nash Cards that had it, so I'll see them again. But yeah, they had a couple of like Miguel Cabrera autos that I kind of was interested in. And lastly, I love Luis Robert, so I was like, I'm in Luis Robert world, and this one guy had a table just full of Luis Robert autos, jerseys, and everything. I'm glad I wasn't able to get to his table as long as I did because I would have spent everything I sold.
Yeah, I all dope cards. And so we were looking at it a little bit differently because there was some PC items that I wanted to pick up, and we've been very vocal about fiscal responsibility. And so
Yep.
there was 2 of them. One of them was there was one that I really wanted, and then there was one that I would have been happy to have. There was a Prism Gold PSA 10 auto of Patrick Williams, a rookie card. I've got the 9. It's a pop 2 card, one higher. And so I found the guy who had the 10, and he
Yep.
was at about 5K. And so I was like, okay, that's my fallback plan. The other card I don't want to say just because it's still available and until I close the deal on that. So I told that guy at the end of the show, I'm going to come back and let's try to work something out. Like
Mm-hmm.
I felt good at a cash price, but if I could have saved a little bit of cash because I was also trying to buy some inventory, I would have liked to have moved into that. Unfortunately, like with about an hour to go in the show, some people like wrapped up and left early, which was kind of disappointing because for this show, it's invite only, so you don't pay for the table.
Yep.
And there's good foot traffic. It's carpeted, well air conditioned, it's clean. Ledex is walking around handing out water. They did like a food event afterwards. So it was a little off-putting that people dipped out early. So I missed out on that card. And the thing of that sucks was at one point during the day, a LeBron James, I want to say it's like 2013, 2014, gold dual game used patch card came up, and BGS 9, it had game used for the Cavs and game used from the Heat. And we were pretty, I don't say we were pretty close, but it was something that there was absolutely nothing comparable that I could find. And I really wanted it, but unfortunately my thought was like, okay, that's going to take 2 to 3 grand out of my pocket, and I'm trying to make a run at this P will. So had I known that that wasn't going to happen, I probably would have pulled the trigger on the LeBron. But a dual patch game used gold out of 10 was probably, other than the P will, the coolest card that I saw.
And you kind of like brought it up to me a couple times, and you kind of didn't say it, but if you would have bought that LeBron James card for that couple grand, it's going to be 10 times harder to sell it compared to the stuff that you actually bought and were able to flip it quickly. And people don't realize that. And I don't realize that because what is the first thing I said to you when I went to a card show? I'm looking for the high price cards. I'm looking for $1,000 cards. Now I'm realizing that those ones, when you don't have a huge following, are super hard to like actually sell. And I've been sticking like basically on the sticking with those cards, and I can't like sell them because the price point right now.
Yeah, it's you learn that you move into some bigger cards and it's exciting and it's cool, but then it depending, like not all of us, like we were pretty modest relative to other people in the space where we're not made of money and have endless fun. So once you take $2,000-3,000 and lock it up in one card,
Yep.
that for us as a business, I don't want to say it cripples us, but it makes it a hell of a lot harder to navigate. So what was sweet is I had like a PSA 9 RPA of Anthony Edwards come in. I was able to buy that, and then along with I don't even remember, like some some Prism rookie that was like, like maybe $100 card. Was able to buy that, then flip the Anthony Edwards like minutes later for like $100 more and still have that. And just like repeating that over a few hours, the net sum that you have is great. And it allows you then at that point to take some chances on some bigger cards.
Yes, and like I said, I learned that from you. Maybe you haven't told it to anybody, but it's kind of like when I'm with you, I'm like I watch and try to learn from you guys because your experience in the hobby, and I'm just trying to get a little bit of tips, and you'll tell me here and there on
Let me
stuff.
tell you something, Manuel. I don't know shit. I always operate that there's still so much more to learn,
Yeah,
and I have no ego about me. I just try to be like, what can I do better from the last time? Let's put my ego down. Let's try to treat people with kindness and respect. And, by doing so, like, I feel like I get a little bit better each and every time. So
yeah. No, you're really good. But let's continue with the card show. Did you hear about the national news? They released the next 3 years location, and I'm pumped about it, to be honest with you.
Chicago, Cleveland, Chicago.
Yes, driving distance, so we don't have to fly. I mean, AC was driving distance for you, but not for me.
Yeah, but so for where I'm at, it's like Chicago,
Yep.
Cleveland. It's Cleveland's slightly closer, but I mean, those are both manageable drives. I'll make that drive every day. I'll go to and from on a daily basis, and it wouldn't bother me.
Yeah, and I mean, Chicago's your hometown, so it's like kind of your stomping grounds. I'm excited to actually. I didn't go to the last year's national and with you guys, but I'm very excited to go to next year's national and kind of learn from you. I got to get one of those hot dogs, Portillo's hot dogs, and we got to have the Italian beef place again.
Yeah, that's Bona beef.
Oh,
And you went to Bona, and yeah, we actually buried the lead. You're making TikToks of you stuffing your fucking face with food,
I
being
should
thick.
have tried that.
Like, we didn't let anybody
Oh,
have lunch. We didn't let anybody have breakfast. Nobody had dinner unless it was like nitro from Starbucks. Nobody was consuming anything. And then at like maybe 5:30, 6 o'clock on the way home, we stopped at Bona Beef, and Manny had an Italian beef. Then
mm-hmm.
he then had a hot dog. He then
No,
had French fries. And
glizzy.
well, they're hot dogs. They're Chicago. A Vienna beef hot dog. And then 10 minutes into the ride home after leaving the restaurant, he had his head back and snored for 3 hours.
I was knocked out. And then I woke up and had a Starbucks and was ready to go.
Yeah, and then he had a milkshake. I stopped for Starbucks for the fourth time, and my man he ordered something that was like this much. Oh,
Yeah.
and let me add this. My man's like, after he drinks this milkshake, that's all it was a milkshake. He goes like, yeah, I'm lactose intolerant, so I might not go home. I might have to go into the casino where we met at to blow up their facility.
Yeah. I did too.
If that's not thick behavior, I don't know what the hell is.
Well, the Italian beef mixed with the Starbucks was not great with my stomach.
Look, Chicago or Rosemont, you can fly in, you can take an Uber. All the hotels, a majority of the hotels are right there within walking distance. The infrastructure is set up for trade nights.
Yep.
It's cleaner, it's safer, and like the restaurant, like just everything's set up. Cleveland, same thing. The infrastructure is there to support it. It's going to be a little bit safer, a little bit cleaner, in my humble opinion, just based on my personal experience. I'm sure there's going to be somebody who's going to blow me up. And I heard somebody actually today defending Atlantic City. I thought that was an odd take, but I am excited for the next few years. It's a good look to get the fuck out of Atlantic City.
The only thing that I heard that was bad about Chicago that hopefully they fix is the air conditioning. I wasn't there, but they said it was very hot in the actual convention.
It was.
So if they could get that fixed, that would be awesome. I heard the internet's a lot better there.
It was. And if you listen to any of our reviews, our least favorite part of the national last year was the actual convention, just because it was so packed and it was so hot. So either way, you're around people that you like, enjoying a hobby that everybody loves. You'll make a good time out of it. You have to be in a real bad headspace or just have the worst luck to have a truly negative experience from cradle to grave.
Oh yeah, we're definitely getting Bona again, or Bonia, whatever you call it. Albonia. So we need to get
and for the people who are going to chime in, Portillo's used to be good when it was privately owned. When they sold to the corporation and they started squeezing, and the quality's gone down a little bit. So Just and then I'm also very aware Al's is excellent too, but we weren't close enough to take Manny to an Al's.
Okay. Well, let's get into. So I've been working Storm the last couple days here.
Yep.
And I remember I texted you yesterday. I want to get into it. Who the fuck is Lemon the cat? And why is everyone talking about this cat?
Look, dude. Lemon's the cat. And I think this was actually debunked. I don't know if people went onto Snopes or one of those websites that's just out there, verifying what's real or what's not. But essentially, you see all the posts about the deadbeat eBay buyers. Somebody, is like basically reneging on paying for something, and so their thing was like, hey, I really wanted to buy this card, I didn't mean to bid multiple times, but my cat has emphysema and is gonna die, and the cat's name was Lemons. So I just like read that, and I threw something up, and I'm not the Instagram guy, that's Court, but I threw up like a cat smoking a cigarette, and it's like prayers up for Lemons, not even thinking. And then like last night I laid down in bed and browsed Instagram for a few minutes, and like everybody was thinking the same as me. Everybody was making memorials for Lemons. Everybody was, turning it into GIFs and GIFs and all this shit. And so, yeah, that was a new one. Lemons the cat.
I was so confused. So I missed that whole thing, and I'm looking and I'm seeing memes of like Lemons, RMP Lemons, and then you text me that we're going to talk about Lemons a cat, and I was like, who is like, what's going on? I missed the whole thing, and I just want to let you know that's what it happens when you're not on social media for one day. You miss like everything. And it's insane how much we rely on Instagram or Twitter for card hobby content.
Let me tell you this, Manny. When I messaged you, it was just in the middle of the day because I kind of go ghost on all social medias during the day so I can get my work done. I saw it. I had a good laugh. I threw the thing up. I didn't tell Court. I didn't know if she saw it, anything like that. I'm like, this is going to be fun. This humors me a little bit. I was actually low key disappointed that it took off the way it did.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's cool, but I was like, man, I thought I was onto something unique. And then I was just one of the masses. One of the masses. Like, oh, we don't have to talk about this. This has been beaten to death at this point.
Yeah, Stranger Things cards is just like Lemons at this point. Courtney's gonna kill me on that comment. Well, let's go to the next one. I did see a GIF of a guy pulling a card, and it was the Justin Herbert 1/1 out of Prism, and they had the Lemons a cat, and they get all excited. But let's talk about that. The Justin Herbert Black 1/1 got pulled. Was it yesterday?
Yeah, in less than a few days, I believe the gold optic 10 of 10, the rated rookie, was pulled by Bridgeport Hobby on one of their breaks last week. And the actual breaker who works for Bridgeport stopped by my table, and he was looking to sell some cards. And he said he actually pulled it himself. And the guy who bought the card actually flew in to the Chicagoland area to pick it up. So like you're thinking like, man, that's cool. That's like life-changing when you're flying to go pick up a card in a break. And then a few days later, the 1/1, gets scooped up. So that's I think that's life-changing money.
Oh yeah, it is. I mean, people think it's like the memes I was seeing is like $500,000. I don't know who's like comping these, but I'm sure it is. I guess what did the Mac Jones go for? 100,000 was like the initial sale for the kid.
Yeah, I mean that's the rumor. So I have an idea. Like I know what the guy who got the gold optic 10 out of 10 was offered and what he rejected.
Yep.
So if you put a multiple on that for the black finite 1/1, I don't think $500,000 is that far fetched, honestly.
I was a little confused. It's Herbert's second year, right?
I thought it was his rookie.
Was it his rookie? So it's a year.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's got to be his rookie, because if people are making this kind of a deal for a second year card, that wouldn't make sense.
I don't know. It looks like this year's brand, and that's my like hot take. I wanted to bring this up when we talk about it. Prism, in my opinion, kind of sucks. When I'm at card shows, I don't even look for Prism cards. They're the same generic kind of silver design. They really haven't changed much since 2012. Besides the close-up pictures that they did with no background, to now it's just like the silver border. And it's a hot take because it's like the flagship rookie for Panini. But when I'm at card shows, I'm an auto guy. So I like looking at like like anything auto. I love optic more than prism, and maybe I don't know. I just kind of want to get your take on what you think of prism.
Uh, I'm I'm the same way. And I'm just looking right now because I'm you have me curious if
Okay.
I don't want to be misrepresenting the truth or what's going on out there.
Yeah, no
Uh,
problem. No, I do want to. I'll just keep talking about how I hate prism. So there you go.
no, no, no. You know, I can multitask, sir. So my thing is, at the end of the day, I have Prism cards and I have Optic cards, and I'll just use the Patrick Williams because that's fresh in my mind. Both gold, both numbered out of 10. I would take the if values were the same, I would take the Optic
Yeah.
10 out of 10. It's a cooler looking card. It's cleaner. The autograph for mine is on card.
Yep.
The Prism is a sticker. So to me, I still don't understand if like Prism's like the premier brand and that's the number one brand, like why it receives sticker autos. And I'm not the guy right now complaining about sticker autos. It's just that's something that's never made sense to me.
No, I don't get. I guess it's easier to send a pack of stickers to someone and then they could sip it back. But who's actually watching them sign the stickers?
Dude, this is supposed to be like levity, dude. And you're gonna go there. So I don't know, man. Who the hell knows? Nothing makes sense to me because if you're a football player and you sign your cards 1-1, you can send it in PSA. If it's a Wednesday, they'll grade it. On a Thursday, they might tell somebody else to go pound sand.
That's where I was getting at.
Man,
So
Brian Gray and Nat Turner throwing a
that's
little
exactly.
back and forth on Twitter. Oh, what was it for Pele autos?
Yeah, I'm glad that you caught what I was like throwing at you. But yeah, the Pele auto, Leaf auto. Um, the CEO of Leaf was saying that the PSA wouldn't grade it, the auto. Um, he goes on a long, like basically this guy that has the card was very upset because it's guaranteed by Leaf, and then Nat Turner and Ken Golden are like chiming in. It's like a PSA versus Leaf type thing, but in what I told you, it doesn't make sense because you have players that are getting their cards signed and sent to PSA and they're grading that without question. But then this type of thing, they won't grade it. It doesn't make sense to me. Someone in the comments maybe make it sense to me. Maybe I'm overthinking it, but the Panini stickers, again, they just send them in a box and they send them back. I don't know. At least the car, like they sent Golden TikTok I saw had Kobe Bryant, an old Kobe Bryant, and he said, "You want to know how you could tell if these are authentic?" And he had like a little symbol on the back, and I'm like, "Well, why don't they do something like that?" Because this is a lot of money in this hobby. I mean, you have millions and millions of dollar cards. I mean, one just set a record, SGC 95. We could talk about that, but that was an auto. But you're kind of relying on these players to be cordial and get these signed by themselves rather than other people signing them and they get paid for it.
I Here's the thing, dude. The inconsistency in this hobby
Bugs me.
is really frustrating. And the more you get into the hobby and you talk to like the old school guys, the vendors who have been here for a long time, and you hear from their perspective some of the things that they've seen or that's been accepted or the way they talk about so-called like hobby influencers, it like changes your perspective, man. And so again, anytime there's big money involved, people
Yes.
sometimes get squirrely and some squirrely things happen.
Yeah.
um I would be pissed though, because if whether this person bought a box of Leaf or bought a single, you know, and you think you hit like an all-time great at his or her sport and auto, and you can't even get the damn thing authenticated. I mean, what are you to do?
Yeah.
And so it, I don't know, man, because you can go and you can find cards that PSA authenticated they should have never authenticated. And so it's kind of frustrating. And then as leaders, for them to kind of take it out on Twitter and go tit for tat, it's you know, it makes for good fodder. But ultimately, again, it's us, the consumer, that's getting screwed.
Yes. Because what if, I mean, that alone puts a hit on these Leaf cards. Like, yeah, there weren't like too desirable because they're unlicensed, and I like them. The patches of them are great, but now, why would you want Leaf when they won't even authenticate it because one company is like against? I don't know if they're against Leaf, but it seems like it from how they were interacting with one another. And they shouldn't even have brought that up, like you said on Twitter. That should be behind the scenes.
It's just my opinion. Like I get like once in a while, like if somebody's acting like a bag, you can throw a shot and just kind of like but like Ken Golden chop like popping in with like the little popcorn emojis, like I get it, dude. I get what you're doing. You're also filming a TV show, and oh by the way, you work for Nat Turner.
Yeah, exactly.
So like you might be able to influence or take advantage of people who don't know better, but everything's just so fragmented and it's so cliquish. I just it doesn't make sense to me, man. It just doesn't make sense to me. So
Yeah.
that's why I choose to operate in positivity.
Yep.
All I'm saying is that person has a Pele card. He paid for it. He bought a box. Whatever.
Those
This dude needs to be made whole. Make him
exactly.
whole.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's
And
go.
real quick, hold on. No. Now you pissed me off, dude. Here's the thing. We talk about like making we as hobbyists, as collectors, shouldn't be fighting one another. We should be uniting and demanding more and wanting more. We shouldn't accept some of the shit that we do. Hey, I sent in cards 2 years ago for 20-day service. I don't know what world 20 days means 19 months. And there's nothing I can do about it, right? I just have to take it on the chin. Shit
Yep.
happened with HGA, happened with BGS, happened with SGC, and nobody's compensated us. Now,
Nope.
I'm sure there's individual cases where they maybe got a couple bucks off or they got a free card graded. Um, but at the end of the day, we get the shaft. You have people buying autographs. And this is why people leave because they spend their hard earned money only to get shafted. Well, Ruben was doing an interview, and I don't want to do the whole thing, but basically, he said, he said, dude, redemptions are bullshit. Redemptions need to go away.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
But how do you do that?
What do you mean?
How do you make redemptions go away?
Oh, I just fucked this whole thing up, dude. I clicked the wrong batter. My shit went away. Oh, we're gonna have to delete the whole show.
No,
Dude, I am not the tech. I told you it's been a long week. Disregard that. I had a whole beautiful. I used all 1,000 characters for something sweet. I had some Easter eggs in there, and it says some Octane collectible shit.
Oh, that's fun.
I clicked the wrong one.
We gotta keep it in there.
All right, so like the consummate professional that I am, I'm not going to acknowledge the mistake. I'm going to keep it moving. So anyway,
love it.
What's to stop you and I, right, from creating something and saying, "Hey, man, you have the chance to win a fucking Madonna panties,
Yeah.
or just some outlandish thing," and then wait 10 years and just be like, didn't happen. Tough luck.
Yeah.
Here's 150 points credited to your account, or here's a, fucking Jeff Blauser card,
Yeah. Well, they even on Twitter, they said, "How do you get rid of it?" Because, say for example, and it was actually the CEO of Leaf. Say Aaron Rodgers gets sent stickers, doesn't send them back. Are you just the people that are wax collectors are just going to be like, no more Aaron Rodgers autos after they're sitting on them because he won't sign? So it's like a redemption is a good theory, but they have to come whole like quicker than what they're doing.
I heard the argument where it's like, hey, you don't want to poke the bear. Like, let's just use the NFLPA, the Players Association. You don't want to get them riled up because then maybe they won't sign. Well, if they're not signing in the first place,
Yeah.
who cares? And again, it falls back to who gets the shaft? Us, the consumer.
Us. Yeah.
I know that you're 7-figure Manny. I get that, so it's not a big deal for you. But when you're somebody like me struggling to get by, that makes a damn difference, man. And why is it acceptable? Why can't the person who is being paid, who is contractually obligated to do something. Why are you not allowed to hold them accountable? But you can take my hard-earned money and not make me whole.
Mm-hmm. No, it makes sense. I don't
So
know.
instead of all of us fighting, all the podcasts taking shots at each other, everybody on Twitter talking shit about one another, man, like fuck that. These guys are making millions and billions of dollars. You know what I mean? Get us
Yeah,
the damn cards. We just want little pictures of cardboard with like dudes and chicks on it. You know what I mean?
exactly. I mean, we're easy. We just we want little pictures, and I
Little
want my
little
stickers in
pictures.
my sticker books.
And you know what you can also do? You can get rid of sticker autos, cut down the amount of people that you have for autographs. I just
Yeah,
went through and there was probably about 100 cards of autographed players. These are players I don't even know who the hell they are. And like I consume sports at like an alarming rate. I've never even heard of some of these people.
yeah, it's insane. Just do like the top 10 or top 20 athletes of that sport, and I would be happy.
You know, so I mean, it's I know this is supposed to be positive, and overall, my message is positive.
I mean, we're positive. We're both drinking, so we're spilling at
It's
the
been a
mouth.
long weekend, and I've got a Bud Light keeping it classy over here as my holiday weekend begins.
Yeah, it's been great. I do want to bring a set in. Um, we could change it kind of. I want to talk to you about a hobby box that I kind of want to buy, and I want to get your opinion on it. And I
Let's
brought
hear
it
it.
up to show everyone. So if you're on YouTube, I'm going to share my screen. If not, it is 2021 Skyblacks Metal Universe. I actually wanted this. They announced it last year. It was supposed to come out in January, and I'm really excited about it. And the reason I'm excited about it, and as you could see, it's a championship multi-sports card. So it's like it's by, let's see. As we scroll down, they have like these parallels, and it's like the outer space, like the metal cards. But they have precious metal gems. They're bringing precious metal gems back. And as you can see, Michael Jordan's on it. Here's some of the parallels that they have.
Oh, what the hell is that?
Yeah, more parallels. So
Why couldn't they have just kept it? What was it like? Red. There's 90 of them, and then there's 10 green for 100 total.
yep. Now green, yeah, green's 10 still. And red is 150. So we have Tiger Woods, and the thing that I kind of really like about this product, they had what is this, jambalaya, and people love those inserts. And autos. I'm coming looking at the autos. And Michael Jordan, let me find it, actually has an auto in this, and right here. Michael Jordan is signed in this product.
Holy shit! Hold on. Gold doesn't include Jordan. Wow. 1 in 29,803 packs.
Yeah.
Holy crap!
Or you could get Woo You 100 every 100 packs.
Damn.
So is this the Woj? Auto?
Give me a Woj bomb card.
But yeah.
How much are these? How much are these boxes? 100, 200
All right.
bucks.
So the boxes are on pre-sale. It looks like for 1,500, and I think you only get like 8 cards. Has a bad rating, but I think it has a bad rating because they're bringing back like some of the old 90s inserts, and you could tell, like, I mean, these guys are going to be upset about having these 90 inserts come back because how rare they were supposed to be. So I was kind of curious what your thoughts are. You could get a Jordan auto. It's not licensed. I'm not sure if you could get a LeBron James auto. I like the jambalaya, even though it's not licensed. This is kind of a cool card.
Well, actually, wouldn't the Jordan be technically? Wouldn't it be licensed since he has a contract? It just wouldn't. He wouldn't be wearing like NBA licensed gear.
Yeah,
but
what's he
he's
wearing?
under contract. Some generic ass jersey.
Okay, yeah. So he wouldn't be like you said. Yeah, you're right. And then you have the Sabrina, which is like one of the best WNBA players. I mean, there's some good autos. I'd be ticked if I was trying to go for this and got Woj, to be honest with you.
I mean, like, hold on, let me see some of those names.
This is the base set. You want to see the autos?
Bree Baker, Dot Richardson, Tony Finau, Sky Brown, Franz Wagner, Tim Grover. Man, I don't.
Oh,
At 1,500 a box, I am going to say hard pass for me. Hard pass.
but you could get Paige Sapernak, the golfer sensation. Miss,
Yeah,
I think she was like rated one hottest woman in
I don't.
America.
So I'm not buying sports cards for attractive looking athletes.
I
You know what I
think,
mean?
you want me to tell you my opinion though? I actually think these are going to be a hit.
Oh, I don't doubt, dude. I don't doubt that people like them. I'm saying for me, at 1,500 a box, there's several other products I would rather rip.
Okay. I just want to bring it up. It comes out this month. I was
Would you
curious,
rather have that or the PSG box?
but the PSG box is for 12K.
Okay, so you can. Would you rather have a case? Let's just say that. Let's just like for easy math. Let's just say a case of whatever the
PSG.
hell that product was you just sold me, like Leaf Upper Deck's version of a Leaf product with
Mm-hmm.
Jordan autos and one in every 30,000 packs, or one box from the PSG.
PSG.
Okay,
100%. Because you get Messi, which is one of the greats. You're guaranteed an auto of Messi in that set.
Mbappe,
Mbappe.
Neymar.
Yep. So you're right. Um, no, I mean, I just want I think we should do that. Like, kind of bring like this was the news of like this high. It's expensive. I think it should be a little bit more because it is high risk, high reward. But it's a floor that's really bad.
Now at 1,500, I wonder what it's actually going for. Now, if I can pick it up at like $200, $300, $400 a box directly through, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
not sure because I don't think I've ever bought Upper Deck product. Yeah, I guess I have bought some hockey. Yeah, through like distribution. Maybe that's a different story. But at like 1,500, where like if I'd go into a hobby shop, I'd probably pick up like 3 boxes of Optic basketball that just
Yeah.
dropped before I would rip that.
I was curious because, like I said, it's your guy. Maybe buy single. Like I'd probably buy some singles of the jambalaya. To be honest with you, and I feel like a lot of people might.
Yeah, but I'm
Um,
sure you could be able to pick like look at everybody spent like 20K on Eminence for football, and you could buy the singles of like the top quarterbacks for a grand, 2 grand.
yep. So I think that's the play for me. I'm gonna buy those jambalayas, hold them. I know they're kind of like they're not the real jambalayas, but they're cool looking cards. The precious metals I'm off of. There's too many parallels. Um,
I got to
on
be
that.
honest, I'm not a huge fan of the PMGs.
I'm not either. They don't look kind of cool to me. Same with
They
those.
don't do anything for me, and I'm not a hater, but I felt like if I went out and bought one, I'd be buying it just so like keeping up with the Joneses because that's like the cool in card. Really,
Yep,
just doesn't do it for me.
I agree. Well, I mean, I guess let's get into our thickest of the week. Our
Yeah,
PC.
man.
Let's do it. I'm
Yeah,
excited.
yeah. I'd click on a button, put a little animation up, but I'd probably fuck that up too. The kind of day I'm having. So I'm finding just some badass cards, and so I've been like looking to buy some at the show. So I had to scoop this one up, and this just screams thick. This just everything about it from the pants skirt, short skirt, girdle type thing. I don't know. This guy could either go on to be 900 pounds or the strongest man ever.
Mhm.
Either way, I think my guy Ivar
Ivar.
is thick.
You gotta say it like Vince McMahon.
You're hired. The genetic jackhammer, Vinnie Mac. And so they've got Ivar, who is a Viking raider,
Viking
and
Raider.
he's always on the hunt for conquering victories and plundering championships.
Yep. I
And
love
the
it.
and the Buffett. My man Ivar. So that's the thick PC card edition
Mhm.
this week.
I love it. So mine's a rookie card, a cheap rookie, which is surprising to me. But it is like the base 90 set. And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, was the first year they start going to like that glossy finish. Um, and it's a cool
I
looking
don't
card.
know, so I'm not gonna be able to correct you.
Well, they're gonna tell me if it's wrong or not in the
Yeah.
comments. So
They
Um,
will.
but it was pre. I guess it was probably pre before he was thick, but he got thick in his career. But I got Shaq's rookie. I think it's his
Oh,
rookie.
Sack. Big Daddy Diesel. Sack.
Big Daddy Diesel, and this is like I said, I think his rookie. But it's a cheaper card, and it's a cool set because the reason why I got it is everyone was talking about Michael Jordan's in this set and how his face looked, and I was like, I gotta get the Shaq version of this for our thick PC.
How does that work? Like when you're walking up to the table, it's like, hey, can I help you with anything? You collect anything? Like I'm looking for plus sized athletes. Do you have any athletes that are plus size?
I say
Doesn't matter.
plus side athletes or Joey Chestnut because he's thick in my eyes.
Yeah, I suppose when you can sit down and knock back 142 hot dogs, like
Yeah,
you might not literally be thick, but he's definitely living a very thick lifestyle.
it's the lifestyle. That's what we're about, thick lifestyle. Let's talk about hot dogs and glizzies. You want me to show you a video of our thickest of the week? We
Yeah,
didn't
hell yeah. Let's see thickest of the week.
we were gonna do it last week, but we had an interview with Octane. So it is a couple weeks old, but we were like, we gotta have this as thickest of the week. So let me pull it up. And you know how we love our glizzies, right? Absolutely love them. Well, at the Mets, I think Yankees game, we have a guy with the glizzy in his hand.
All
Um,
right. All right.
he has a straw for his beer, but as you can see, he's poking a hole through his mid glizz. Picks up nice dunks that he has or Jordan ones, and look at that, using the glizzy as a straw. And I'm like, this is thick lifestyle. This is the thick lifestyle that I appreciate.
That fucking kid eating his fucking finger. Go wash your hands, kid.
I
Ugh,
know. COVID.
ugh. The
Look at
guy in
that.
the guy in the pink shirt needs to get off Instagram and fucking parent his kid. His kid needs to wash his hands. There's a sex predator behind you sucking down hot dogs. Your kid's
Sucking them
eating his
down.
fingers, and you're on your phone. Get off your phone.
This is the new invention. I love it. But yeah, so that is our thickest of the week.
There
Um,
you go.
I love this is one of my favorite segments. And me trying to find people who are thick or have a thick lifestyle.
Look, before we get out of here, I see a note. You shot me a text message and you said, I can't stop having sex at baseball games. And I just want to know, like, if you could go into greater detail and what that means. I don't know, like, I know you wanted to touch on it. I really don't know what it is, and I wasn't sure how to like segue that properly. So
I didn't either, so I didn't bring it up.
sex at baseball games. Talk to me.
So I forgot this. Athletics was the first one. They're in the outfield, upper deck, and a guy was getting a blowy in the stadium on the last deck. People recorded him like they got arrested at the field. A week goes by, and another couple
Wait a
got
minute,
caught
at an A's game?
at an A's game.
There's only like 17 people there, and so
Yeah.
you're telling me that two people are trying to have a good time,
And
and
they got
these
caught.
and the 15 other people who probably got in for free had an issue with it, and they cock blocked for all
They
intents and purposes.
I'll send the video to you. I don't know if we'll get in trouble if we show it here. I don't think you don't see anything. It's so far away. I think who recorded it was like on the first base like line, and they're recording the outfield. And you just see them getting taken away. You see the girl get up, and you don't see her. You just see her getting up.
Haters, haters.
So then a week later, someone got caught actually having sex and got taken away as well.
Where at?
I'm not quite sure. I gotta see where that is, but I saw it and I was like, we got to talk about it. I don't understand. Is baseball that boring that people are just having sex at
or that awesome?
True. It's like the Mile High Club.
Like you can have like let's say for instance you like French fries, right? But then you like French fries and ketchup. It just adds to it. So who doesn't like a good baseball game and a little adult play? Hey, there's nothing wrong with two consenting adults having a good time.
Well, I don't need you guys to you and Courtney to get arrested at Comerica Park. So please don't try this.
Here's the thing. Younger Jeremy and Courtney, I don't know what may or may not happen, but as pillars of the community, We have to be mindful and understand that all actions have consequences. So, um,
Well, good thing this trend didn't come out 20 years ago.
I do remember, I believe it was Rogers Center up in Toronto where the Blue Jays play. I believe there was used to be like hotel suites in the outfield. And I do remember a story of somebody mid game maybe enjoying one another's company. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But man, there's a lot of haters out there. Like I get it. Like if to be clear, if there's kids at the ballpark, that's probably inappropriate. But it's an A's game. Nobody goes to A's games. They're out in the outfield. So as long as there's no kids around, let them have some fun.
I mean, Darryl Strawberry had fun in his dugout during mid game, so why can't the fans?
Fucking, it's crazy times, man. Where can the fine folks of the internet follow us?
All right, follow us on Too Thick on Instagram and Twitter, and Too Thick underscore on TikTok. We plan to put more content, more and more content. We are trying to go 2 shows a week because we want to shorten down our shows, get more into it, and actually it might go this long. I love your company. I hope you love mine too, but we want to get 2 shows in.
Manny, every day that I get to spend a couple minutes with you, I just think like, man, I must have been in a violent car accident because I woke up in heaven because I'm
No,
spending time with you.
I think you woke up in hell and you're like, shit, what happened? But
What happened?
I do want to do 2 shows a week because now it's football season and college football season. And I know you love the Bears, and I'm a big Michigan State and Cowboys fan. So, and you're a Northwestern guy. So it's going to be a lot of fun, and soccer
First place, Northwestern.
until tomorrow.
First place, Northwestern, my friend. Yeah, follow us at Reckless Cards, Manny Forrest, Too Thick Pod. Until next time, boys and girls, I got to go. Holiday weekend. Enjoy your holiday.